When it comes to looks, the Korean entertainment industry is ruthless. She looks like his mom, no chemistry at all. She looks older than her face. She seems to have gained weight. K-drama stars face these comments daily because for them, beauty isn't just expected, it's demanded. In fact, K-dramas have shaped impossible beauty standards for women all over the world. How? Let's find out. If there's a rule that most K-dramas unconsciously or consciously follow, it's always the unspoken condition that it must have two things: a dreamy romantic plotline and picture-perfect female characters. At first, it's great. It all makes sense because, after all, who wouldn't want to see beautiful characters in their favorite shows, right? But while it's proven to be a good formula to hook audiences, there's a dark side to the always camera-ready smiles and flawless appearances. Here's a hint. It's all an illusion. With the relentless pressure to always look pretty, K-drama beauty standards have become too unrealistic. For instance, it's always expected that K-drama actresses maintain an impossibly slim physique. In order to achieve these paper-thin bodies, many leading ladies have subscribed to highly restrictive diets, often consuming as little as 300 to 500 calories per day. For figures like IU and Suzy, these extreme diets only consist of a single apple, a sweet potato, and a protein shake per day. This level of deprivation is not only unhealthy, but also sets an unattainable benchmark for viewers who idolize these celebrities. While you can imagine that it couldn't get any worse, gaining even a small amount of weight can become a major scandal. With media outlets, fans, and whatnots dissecting every photo, the scrutiny is relentless. Actresses often find their current appearances being compared to past images in search of any perceived flaw. In 2024, Marry My Husband actress BoA drew criticism for her overly done lips when she went live on Instagram. Netizens pointed out that there was something different and unpleasant about her lips, though she was quick to shut them down, saying that she had a habit of biting my lips. That's why it started to spread. Moreover, in K-dramas, female leads are always expected to have ultra-flawless and youthful skin. As an actress, you need to have zero wrinkles, no blemishes, and not a hint of aging. But when it comes to reality, even with meticulous skincare, natural aging is inevitable. Yet, in the K-drama world, visible signs of aging are rarely seen. And if they do appear, they are often met with criticism or, worse, career decline. This becomes an even bigger problem when actresses over the age of 30 frequently find themselves relegated to supporting roles, while male actors of the same age continue to land leading roles. The expectation that women must look eternally youthful not only distorts reality, but also pressures both actresses and ordinary women into investing heavily in cosmetic procedures to maintain an unattainable ideal. Just recently, Gong Hyo-jin became the subject of hateful internet comments in comparison to her co-actor Lee Min-ho. Netizens were rash to say that Gong Hyo-jin looked too old for Lee Min-ho, and that she could ultimately pass as his mother with the way she looked. While cosmetic surgery is widespread in South Korea to the point that they have become quite known for it, it's ironic that K-dramas rarely acknowledge it. In fact, many leading actresses undergo several procedures such as double eyelid surgery, jawline reduction, and rhinoplasty to fit the industry's beauty standards. Yet these enhancements are framed as natural beauty. This selective portrayal creates a deceptive image of perfection, making viewers believe that such flawless appearances are purely genetic rather than the result of medical intervention. K-dramas construct a world where beauty appears effortless, but in reality, it is a product of immense sacrifice. And here's the thing, beauty in K-dramas isn't just an aesthetic, it's also a business. The K-beauty industry, valued at billions of dollars, thrives on the promise of achieving the same flawless skin and youthful appearance that K-drama actresses display on screen. From skincare products to plastic surgery clinics, these shows serve as powerful advertisements that convince audiences that perfection is just one product or procedure away. It's a usual practice for brands in South Korea to sponsor dramas to feature their products, creating a highly effective form of marketing that blurs the line between fiction and reality. For example, viewers are conditioned to believe that the radiant skin of their favorite actresses comes from a specific serum, and with viewers seeing the proof, it then leads to skyrocketing sales of these items. Beyond skincare, the normalization of cosmetic procedures is another way K-dramas fuel the beauty industry. South Korea has one of the highest rates of plastic surgery per capita, and many clinics use celebrity endorsements to attract clients. As mentioned, K-dramas rarely depict the reality of these procedures, instead presenting their actresses as naturally flawless. This selective portrayal reinforces the idea that perfection is attainable without effort, and this pushes audiences, especially women, toward costly beauty treatments. Now, the influence of K-dramas extends beyond Korea, shaping beauty ideals across the world. With global streaming platforms making these shows more accessible than ever, international audiences are also drawn into the K-beauty craze, which further encourages the industry's growth, fueling the pressure to maintain these standards. Still, in the world of K-dramas, certain beauty traits stand out, and if an actress fits them, she'll be seeing more success in landing lead roles. For example, Kim Tae-ri and Han So-hee. In Korea, having a small face is a big deal. The smaller, the better. Kim Tae-ri and Han So-hee are two of the biggest names when it comes to this beauty standard. Han So-hee has gone viral multiple times for her tiny face, often shocking people when compared to other actresses. Kim Tae-ri's delicate proportions, on the other hand, have also sparked conversations about whether her features are even real. In Korea, the preference for long, straight legs is undeniable. Actresses like Shin Min-ah and Kim Da-mi are admired for their tall, slender frames and perfectly proportioned legs. This standard, while celebrated, further adds pressure for women to fit an almost impossible body type. Fair skin is still the ideal type in Korea. Despite growing conversations about colorism, actresses like Song Hye-kyo and Lee Sung-kyung are often praised for their flawless, pale complexions, reinforcing the idea that whiter skin equals beauty. A 90-degree shoulder line has become a sought-after feature in Korea. Kim Ji-won and Bae Suzy are known for their straight, sculpted shoulders, which make them look effortlessly elegant in any outfit. And if you can't think of anything more, being thin isn't enough. There's also a preference for an hourglass shape. Jun Ji-hyun and Sun Ye-jin have long been admired for their balanced proportions, which makes them the ultimate references for body goals in the industry. Moreover, these unrealistic beauty standards don't just exist on screen, they seep into real life, and they influence how women perceive themselves and how society judges them. In Korea, women face immense pressure to conform to these ideals. It has come to a point wherein extreme dieting is normalized, with young women adopting dangerously restrictive meal plans to maintain a slim figure. Plastic surgery is also common, with some even receiving procedures as graduation gifts or career investments. With K-dramas being accessible all over the world, the pressure isn't just limited to Korea now. International fans, particularly women, also feel the weight of these beauty standards. In fact, the K-beauty industry has made its way into the global market, with women of all ages spending hundreds of dollars on skincare products, hoping to achieve glass skin. Psychologically, constant exposure to unattainable beauty ideals can lead to self-esteem issues, body dissatisfaction, and even eating disorders. Women who fail to meet these impossible standards may feel inadequate, believing that their natural appearance is not good enough. The normalization of cosmetic procedures further skews perceptions of beauty, making drastic alterations seem like the only viable path to attractiveness. Despite the overwhelming dominance of these beauty ideals, there are signs of change, of hope, of progress. A handful of K-dramas have begun featuring more natural-looking actresses who don't conform to the traditional size zero standard. Furthermore, women in Korea are also actively rejecting these norms. They've been cutting their hair short, foregoing makeup, and embracing their natural features in a movement known as Escape the Corset. These efforts, however, remain the exception rather than the rule, but they signal a slow but growing shift in attitudes. Some entertainment agencies are also recognizing the demand for more diverse beauty standards, though progress is gradual. Whether these changes will be enough to challenge the deeply ingrained beauty expectations of K-dramas remains to be seen, but they provide a glimpse of hope that the industry may one day embrace a broader and more realistic definition of beauty. We've discussed how K-dramas shape how beauty is defined and valued, sometimes even to extremes. Click on this video to see our list of K-drama stars with the most stunning plastic surgery transformations. 감사합니다!